I have no idea. What's going on, everybody? Let us know in the chat rooms if you're around or if not. I don't see it loading.
There we go.
Oh, you got it
We're
now?
live.
I have no idea.
Yep.
Yep, there it is. I just heard myself. All right, cool. We finally made it. All right. Tim's show. This is not the trash show, but you know what? It might as well be because it is just as difficult to set up. Anyway, I try to be fancy. I'm doing a little change up here. Quick little intro. I'm changing my show, and I don't know if you saw the chat that I put in there earlier, but I'm changing my show because I want it to be like one-on-one like this because I feel like we can have more productive conversation when there's not 5 people drinking and yelling over each other.
Definitely.
I think this will work out a lot better. And so I even tried to put together an agenda so that we could try to stay on track a little bit and we can get through this stuff. But there's a lot that's been happening. I've missed the show a whole bunch. I don't know how many shows you've missed recently, but I feel like there's a lot of crap that's constantly happening that I just never get to talk about. And I was telling you earlier, I saw a video earlier this week by the Young Turks that we're going to watch later. And it just made me think of you instantly. And then when I was putting this together, I picked out a lot of stuff that I think that you're going to like. And hopefully you have something good to say. And you could be the first smart guest on the show. So
there we go. I don't know who the last guest was, but
well, it was just some guy, Mitch. You know, he just came in here and started yelling at me about Bitcoin and was telling me how I was wasting my money. No, no, I'll have Mitch back on and we will continue.
That sounds about right.
We'll continue our debate about Bitcoin. So, first thing I think we have to acknowledge is that Kentucky just got fucked like super hard. With these, what I read something that said there were over 18 tornadoes or some shit. You know anything about this, or you haven't been following?
I haven't followed a lot. I know that they just got slammed by a bunch of tornadoes, and yeah, there's definitely a handful of people dead. And yeah, they, like you said, they just got absolutely slammed. My girlfriend's from the Midwest, and she talks about how nice it is out there, and everybody's so nice, and this, that, and the third. But yeah, that tornadoes is something that scares the hell out of me. I'll deal with blizzards, I'll deal with hurricanes. Tornadoes scare the hell out of me because they could just drop out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, there's a tornado right there.
Yeah,
from 1 minute to the next. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, my thoughts and prayers are with those people out there.
Yeah, man. It's kind of strange. Like, I found out about this because my dad lives over there in Kentucky, and he sends me the video, and he's like,
no shit.
Yeah, he's like, look, this just happened near my house, and I was like, oh, look at that, like that town is wrecked. I was like, is that near you? He said, yeah, that's one of the 2 towns that we go buy groceries in when we go to town. Like Mayfield is one of them, and I was like, oh, well, I guess you're only getting half as many groceries. Shit. And like, I'm making jokes and shit. I didn't realize like there was this big, massive storm that just came through and wrecked this whole fucking neighborhood. Yeah. And so then like I get on the computer and I start looking at stuff.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah.
Go ahead. It was like an entire.
Yeah, it says the Kentucky town of Mayfield. He said that's like a 15-minute drive from his house. I was like, oh, I didn't realize. He's like,
damn.
Yeah, so. Anyway, that's how I found out about it. And like you were saying, man, this is going to be a running theme of the show as why Florida is a better state than all the other states. We have natural disasters. They're called hurricanes, but we can see them coming months in advance. They don't just like spring. I don't know if months is probably too long. Weeks in advance, whatever. You can see them coming and get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, at least a few days ahead of time. Like you're in danger of getting slammed.
Right.
And you, like I said, at least a few days heads up.
Right. Yeah.
Put up your shutters, put up whatever you need to put up, grab some water if you don't already have a stash of water like you should.
Right.
Grab some canned foods or whatever, and you're good to go.
Florida Hurricane Party. You forgot the case of beer. It's like rule number 1. That comes before food. At least you can trade beer. Everybody wants beer.
Well, sure,
you could trade food.
You don't have a case of beer, just sitting there just in case.
It comes and goes so quick, man. I can't keep up with it. So, anyway, we're talking about this stuff. That's all sad news. Let's talk about something that gets us in trouble all the fucking time: abortion. Have you been paying attention to what's
Oh
been?
yeah, there we go.
Have you been paying attention to what's been happening with the abortion ban? Oh, this is.
Well, they're trying to challenge it through the Supreme Court somehow, no?
Yeah, so what I read on it basically, and chat could correct me if I'm wrong, but what I read on it is that Texas has an abortion ban that they passed back in August, September, sometime around there. And it's basically says it's a 6-week ban. It's a heartbeat ban. And so if you can detect the heartbeat within 6 weeks, then you're not allowed to get an abortion. And this has been going on for a while. And the courts have consistently refused a challenge. They don't want to bring up Roe v. Wade. They'd just rather ignore it because they're politicians and they'd rather not fight about this shit if they don't have to. And now they're finally allowing a case to come forward. And so now we're going to get that epic battle as to whether or not Roe v. Wade should actually become or should stay the law. But in the meantime, they're allowing they basically said that the Texas law is allowed to stand, and they're saying this is a state law, and because of that, we're just going to allow it to stand. In there.
So correct me if I'm wrong. This is that same law where basically they were saying that it could be if you were directly affected, quote unquote, by it, that you can sue the person that performed the abortion, the person that drove the patient, I guess you'd call the pregnant woman to the doctor. You could sue that person. You could sue everybody and their mother, but you need to be directly affected by this, right?
Yeah.
That's how the law read.
Something like that. Yeah, like you could.
So the interesting
you could sue them. Yeah.
Right. The interesting thing that I found about the law, and it's something other people have talked about, but it seems like you have to prove that you were directly affected by it.
Yeah.
So who's directly affected by it? Maybe the would-be father of the baby.
Right.
So if a wife got an abortion and the husband didn't want to get the abortion, maybe he could start going after people. But the law doesn't seem to have as much teeth as one would think off rip.
Right.
So I found that interesting, and I heard the theory thrown around that basically they were just trying to make Texas as unappealing, to liberals as possible. Essentially try and scare away the liberals from moving down to Texas, which, I mean, I gotta say, from that standpoint, I commend them in making an effort in doing that, because holy shit, I mean, they have a full-on invasion going on right now from California.
Yeah, so. I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay, I can't fault them.
I'm glad you brought that up because that came up when we were talking with Top Lobster. He was saying, like, well, what do you guys think about it as like a defensive strategy and keeping people out? And actually, the Supreme Court ruling on this has inspired California to make their own judgments. Did you see this? Gavin Newsom says he'll use the Texas abortion law tactics to go after assault rifle and ghost gun manufacturers. So basically, he says, let me see, I had a quote from him pulled up, but basically he's saying that, if Texas is going to allow people to sue abortion doctors and people who help with abortions, then California is going to allow people to sue gun manufacturers and deal and all that sort of stuff. He's using the same justification, but for a liberal policy now. Yeah.
Right. It's ridiculous, but it's something that's not that hard to predict. Like, you could have seen this coming a mile away. Every single time the Republicans try to do something that, quote unquote, protects people's rights, at least in their eyes. But every single time they try and pass some sort of policy, or, they try and push something forward, what do the liberals do? They take it, they flip it around.
Yeah.
They, apply it to their own policies, and, they come down with some shit like this, precedent to sue freaking gun manufacturers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see how that's any different than trying to sue a car manufacturer,
Right.
for a hit and run, or a drunk driving. Shit, if they're drunk driving, sue the gun manufacturer. I mean, sue the car manufacturer.
Yeah.
And why not sue, the person who made the vodka that they drank too?
You're giving them ideas
where
here.
does that shit end?
You're giving them ideas. They're definitely going to do that
let me
shit.
shut the fuck up before these two they try to do that also.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, you're right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Go ahead.
It's crazy how they take shit and they flip it around. And I mean, I don't want to say kudos, but fuck, kudos to the Democrats, because they're not playing around. They're not. And the Republicans are fucking around. They're playing around. They're pretending to play politics. The Democrats took their gloves off a long fucking time ago. And it's pretty amazing to watch them work from a Machiavellian standpoint,
Yeah.
As somebody who's read a few books about strategy and military strategy and political strategy and that type of stuff, I mean, they're putting on a master class of just, how to work something, using the long game. I mean, they've been doing this for 100 years or so.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely just pushing another inch and another inch and another inch and another inch. And they're not letting up. They're not giving up those inches that they get.
Yeah.
It's borderline impressive if it wasn't so, disgusting what they're doing with it.
Yeah. Well, hey, I want to take a quick moment. we need to drop the stream and we need to pull it back up. I realize I'm talking in chat with everybody, and so stay tuned. I know my voice is out of sync with my lips, and Rich's probably is as well. I realized that my computer is set up for the old place that I...
That's you right now?
Yeah. That's all right. I got to figure it out, though. I think I do. Hope I do. This. Got it. Meet now. Host a meeting. Copy that, drop that, go boom. There's that. The MP strike lights out, boys. Is Tim gonna get shipped off to an Aussie concentration camp?
What happened?
They're in the YouTube chat right now. I can see them.
Oh yeah.
All right, I sent you a Skype link.
Where'd you send it?
Discord. This chat, this call that we're in. I'm gonna bounce out of here. Switch there. Drop that fucking thing down. Let me know when you can hear me again.
You got me on?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right.
All right. Need Elon Musk to come and save me. Come on, man. Go faster, thing. Trying to get that dock back open. I had to restart my computer.
Oh shit.
Faster it loads. Alright, let's try this. Hey, guess what? Oh, you're... Oh, wait, no, you are back. Okay, cool. I thought your screen was frozen. Alright, cool. Now we're back, man. Look, Elon Musk needs to come and fucking save me. And if the audio cuts out for a second or two every once in a while, I mean, you're gonna have to deal with it for now. I don't know what to do. I moved the router in here. I restarted everything. You know, I did what I could. So, anyway, what were we talking
Are we live
about?
again?
Yeah, we're live right now. We should be live. I mean,
what's up, everybody?
People are talking, so. People are talking, and they're saying Tim doesn't know how to run a live stream, and, you know, he should be fired. Anyway, I want to watch this video with you. This deranged Thomas Massie video. Let me see. Let me grab it. Copy that. Put it in. Watch together. See, I have to redo all this shit now. Add it there. And then add you as a guest. Let us know that you guys can see us and that we're back. Maybe you can check on that while I'm doing this.
When am I clicking that same link for watch together?
No, it's gonna be a different one. I had to close that one. Oh, the last one worked though? So okay, so I can just send you this. This will be fine. There you go. Let me see. Swamp. See if we're there. Just making sure, because no, you know, people don't say things. You gotta verify. Sorry, I'm recording it on my end, so fine. All right. Yes, it's working for me. Are you in the watch together screen?
Yep.
All right, and your audio works there. Try it out. There, you can kick us off. Wait, where is us? Oh, there we are.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Republican Representative Thomas Massie decided to post a photo, a nice little holiday photo over the weekend, and the timing couldn't be worse, especially considering
one of us will get it. You saw the photo, right? The one that they're getting ready to show, the holiday photo.
Yeah. With him, his family, and the guns.
Yeah.
Especially considering.
Yeah. Fucking great. All right, let's watch this.
Especially considering the fact that there was just a school shooting that led to 4 kids dying as a result of one of their classmates opening fire.
How dare you drive a car when last night somebody died in a drinking and driving accident?
See?
Like, same energy. Like, get the fuck out of here. Having a gun, taking a picture with the gun because somebody died yesterday because of a gun, like, you know, 2 completely different fucking things. You don't see them flipping out when, you know, 15 people die, you know, on a given weekend in Chicago. You know, they don't give a fuck about that, do they?
Right.
No, of course not. Get the fuck out of here. All right, let's keep it going.
So here's what the photo looks like. Thomas Massie tweets, "Merry Christmas, P.S. Santa, please bring..."
Hold, please. Hold, please. I want to point out one thing in this video right here. So notice, if you will, the trigger discipline on all the kids. And also notice that in the rifles, in the ARs and whatever else is over there, you probably name them better than I can. Notice that none of them have any magazines. There's no ammo or anything because this is going to come up later. But this is just something that I noticed in the photo. The first thing I showed it to my wife, and the first thing that she said was, "Oh, look, nobody's fingers on the trigger." Like, people who know things about guns, they pay attention. They pay attention to these things.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, that's the first thing I looked at. I was like,
yeah, where are the fingers?
Discipline, trigger discipline, trigger discipline, trigger discipline. Okay, yeah, they're good.
Yep, everybody's good. All right, go ahead.
A member of his family has a weapon on them, and they all have big, bright smiles. What a great, lovely photo.
Sorry to interrupt again.
You're good.
I agree with her up until this point. What a lovely family photo. But yeah, if Santa could bring ammo, that would be fucking fantastic.
Right? So expensive.
I agree with Massie. Santa needs to bring us some ammo.
Now, of course, there was a lot of backlash to that image, especially from individuals who have actually lost family members as a result of America's lax gun culture. Fred Gutenberg, whose 14-year-old daughter, Jamie, was one of the 17 people gunned down in Parkland, Florida, responded to Massie's tweet, writing this, Since we're sharing family photos, here are mine. One is the last photo that I ever took of Jamie. The other is where she is buried because of the Parkland school shooting. The Michigan school shooter and his family used to take photos like yours as well.
You know, that's sad and all.
Obviously, dude.
But it's
like, yeah.
Yeah, like that goes without saying, you know, super sad. It's heartbreaking, you know, feel for the guy. But it's funny how they never want to talk to the parents to say, well, this is why we need, you know, gun education. That's why we need this, that, the third. You know, they never talk to the pro-gun side.
Right.
Because there was plenty of pro-gun people after Parkland. A lot of people that were doubling down on their beliefs of being pro-gun, you know, but they never want to talk to that side.
Right.
They never want to talk about how, you know, the FBI knew. I'm trying to remember the Parkland kid's name. But it's not coming to me right now. But the FBI knew that kid's name. Yeah. He had been reported to the FBI. You know, they had called the cops on him. Nobody ever went to investigate this kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that sheriff resigned after that, didn't he? Because of his failure.
Yeah. Scott Israel.
Yeah. Do you remember? You remember the failure's name? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember his name because he was my sheriff for a while when I lived in Broward County. Unfortunately,
yeah, that's right. Yep.
But yeah, nobody ever wants to talk to that side. You know, they want to find the most heartbreaking thing possible, you know, and use that to politicize it and pull at, you know, tug at people's heartstrings.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you were saying, it's terrible that kid's family died. What pisses me off about it, it's like I think it was it Ben Shapiro or was somebody who was talking with Piers Morgan, and he's like, oh, so you're going to stand on the graves of dead children and then tell me why my beliefs are wrong. Like, that's the part that just pisses me off. It's like, yeah, look, I understand. Right. Like, I can't imagine being in that position where your kid has died due to guns or due to a shooting, let's say. That's a better way to put it. But like this irrational thing, like, oh, somebody posted a wholesome photo with their family and they have guns and my son was killed with a gun, so therefore you're a bad person. Like, that logic doesn't fit. And it just, I don't know. It pisses me off when people bring that shit up. It's like, okay, fuck you. You're not really trying to make a point here. You're trying to make a political point, and that's different.
You're trying to make a political point, or you're trying to use your grief to shove your belief down somebody else's throat. Right. And I lose sympathy, you know, and I lose respect for you when you do that.
Absolutely.
Sorry, but you know, it is what it is. It's like I said, you know, you can't tell me don't drive my car tomorrow because somebody died in an accident last night.
Right.
You know, it's not how this works. Sorry.
Right. All right, go ahead.
And there was some backlash from other lawmakers.
I'm sorry, I just realized a little bar at the bottom. YouTube channel member, executive producer, Xeno Dragon, the gay AF Dragon, AJ. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but that shit just distracted me. Sorry. All right, let's keep it going.
Makers as well, Congressman John Yarmouth, who tweeted this: "It's not everyone in Kentucky is an insensitive a-hole."
Yeah, Yarmouth is a retiring Democrat from Kentucky, and actually one of the better congresspeople in the country, and has been for a couple of decades.
I really wish I would have seen this video so that I could look this guy up and just have the laundry list of whatever fucked up shit this guy did, because, you know, as a congressperson, chances are, you know, he did some fucked up shit and voted for some fucked up things.
Of course, dude. Well, he's a Democrat in Kentucky, and Cenk Uygur likes him. That's really all you need to know.
Exactly.
Massie is a lunatic right winger from Kentucky. That's the difference. So
see, come on, man. Like
lunatic right winger, like the
that buzzword. Is not. That's not how you would describe Massie. Even if he's nominally a Republican, because, you know, he's more of the Tho Bishop idea. Like, the only way you're gonna win is being a Republican. But he's a fucking libertarian. Like, there's no other. He is what Rand Paul should be.
Right. I'd argue he's more libertarian than Rand Paul.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
He's probably the best we have in Washington right now.
Absolutely. Yep.
And you know, again, it's all a matter of perspective. When you're that far left, you know, anybody you could be a moderate leftist, and compared to Cenk Uygur.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, as far as
compared
I know.
to Cenk Uygur, you're a fucking just absolute nutcase, right winger, because you're not far left enough.
He just called, what did he call him? A lunatic right winger. And it gets worse, dude.
Yeah.
This video gets so much worse. We haven't even gotten to the meat of it yet.
Oh shit. I'd love to see what he has to say about like me.
He won't know what to say. Well, no, he's going to say you're a Cuban, so you're basically white, and then therefore, nothing you say matters.
Oh yeah. All right, let's let this rock.
Picture back up. Yeah, people are making great points. Sierberg's point is the most salient, of course, and very touching. I'm just going to tell you what I honestly think. I think they look like a family of lunatics out of a horror movie. I'm being completely serious. That looks like what you would run into in a horror movie, like, oh, hey, am I safe? And you're running from the monster or whatever and the killer, and then you knock on the door, and then this is what you see, and then you scream even louder, because it's not just one person with a weapon that's scary. It's the whole family who, I don't know, and they have these deranged smiles on their face, like, hey, murder's about to happen any second now. We have enough bullets here to kill a whole village, okay?
Dude, if you saw Thomas Massie's family coming at you, even with guns, like, would you be like, look at them? I don't know, man.
Maybe there's not a single intimidating person. There's not a single intimidating person in that picture.
Oh.
Number one, number two, like just the description, being in a horror film.
Yeah.
You run into that. If I run into them in a horror film, I'm gonna be like, hey, there's a monster out there. Y'all want to go kill him for me?
Yeah, right.
Like,
or if you did think they were a threat,
man.
like if you did think they were a threat, like what? Like Mama Massie's gonna come at you with, what has she got, a fucking Tommy gun? Like you're just gonna fucking knock her out and just take it from her or something. She's not threatening at all. Like she doesn't look intimidating. None of them do. Not even Tom. And I like Tom. No. He's just not like that big ass gun. And it gets better, man. It just keeps getting better.
He's got a fucking pig, and that thing's not, and even he's not intimidating.
Right. The pig's like, what?
If you're rocking
I'll make bacon out of you.
All right, let's let it rock.
Okay, you've come to the wrong house on Christmas. I mean, but honestly, this is what's wrong with America. We are so split.
This is what's wrong with
that
America.
A lot of people look at that picture. Yeah. Millions of people in America look at that picture and go,
he's right. This is what's wrong with America, is that fucking he's on here talking shit. This as in him. Like, God, it's so fucking cringe, dude. Like he's the one that's cringe here. It's not Massie's family photo. It's not what they did. It's him. It's him.
And go, attaboy.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna say. You don't find that photo appealing in any way because you're not the demographic that's being targeted by that image, right? The people that would find that appealing are the very individuals who support Representative Massie anyway, right? And they don't necessarily support Massie based on what he stands for policy-wise. No. This is just more of the, honestly, easy pandering to cultural issues. And in this case, it's the gun culture.
She's still good.
And look, what's next? In the next Christmas photo album of the Massies, they're gonna have like RPGs, the fire-shouldered rockets. They're gonna have hand grenades. Oh, we pulled it. After the picture, we're throwing it out the window, or maybe we're not. I don't know.
Maybe we're not.
Weapons are awesome. Oh, one of us has a finger on the nuke. We're thinking of nuking the whole town. Yay, violence, murder and violence, yay! And so
I can't with this fucking guy.
Oh my God. How much murder and violence was committed in that picture, after that picture, before that picture? None. Shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know what you're talking about.
This video is fucking awesome. I'm sitting there driving this truck and I'm laughing my ass off. And I'm like, dude, I gotta get Rich on to look at this. This is so stupid. He said that they're gonna hold a hand grenade, pull the pin out, and talk about blowing up their neighborhood and pushing the button for a nuke because we love violence. What a fucking dipshit. Oh my God, man.
Dude, it's so bad. It's just so bad that they. If you think that that's, like if that's what you see when you look at that picture, you're the deranged lunatic.
For
You know
real,
what I mean?
man.
Like
yeah.
you are the fucking lunatic. You don't realize what the fuck like you're in a completely different fucking planet, in your beliefs as to what's going on and who people are. And it's I hate to say it's the fucking coastal elites that think that they're better than the entire middle of the country. I grew up in that environment. I grew up in Jersey. I know how, certain people think about other people in this country. And, I mean, I was brought up, not, I don't want to say I was brought up, but I grew up and everybody around me, was like, well, there's New York, there's Miami, there's LA, and then there's a whole lot of nothing in between. And, you start going around the country and you realize that that's not absolutely true. And, you're told that there's no, real culture in America. And then you realize that's absolutely not true. But, these people live in their bubble and they just don't get out of it. And you'd think that by the time you're however old he is, you think you would have gotten out of that bubble by now. And, you would have met some people, whether, good old boys, some people like Thomas Massie that
Right.
just like their guns, enjoy shooting guns, enjoy the culture around guns, enjoy the fact that we can defend ourselves if need be, and you would have spoken to them and you would have learned this about them. But no, he's in his fucking ivory tower. He probably has armed security guards, protecting him at, certain times throughout the day.
He lives in
You know,
LA.
it's-
I'm pretty sure they live in LA, or at least their studios in LA. So
Does he?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Seth Rogen. Did you see the post from Seth Rogen where
Which
he was
one?
like, oh well, if you live in LA, it's perfectly normal that you've gotten your car vandalized 15 times.
Oh yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
I've had my car vandalized 15. One time they left me a nice set of shades, so that's
Dude,
cool.
My car has literally never
Bro.
been broken into. And
Bro,
like
my car
maybe
got
that's
broken into once.
maybe that's like privileged or whatever, but like that's because people know in your neighborhood, like you don't fucking do that shit. You're gonna get hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, not once. I've had my car broken into a few times. A few times that I remember, they just tried to steal the car and they ended up breaking something in the ignition and I had to replace an ignition and, I called it a day. But one time they actually stole shit like out of my car. Like,
Yeah.
You kind of feel violated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like your
Yeah.
stuff was in there. They got in there and they took your stuff. Like you kind of feel like, you feel violated. The fact that like you're just, numb to that, or the fact that you think that, stuff like that doesn't exist, like this asshole, like it's just,
Do you think
it's insane.
Do you think that Seth Rogen made it to where he is because he's genuinely a talented actor, or do you think that he had to allow himself to be violated in order to get the positions that he has?
He totally allowed himself to be violated.
So he's cool with it, man. This is just another day. This is another day for him.
That's true. He's sold off enough of his body that him getting violated, he just doesn't even realize it. Oh, but let's watch the city.
True is for most countries barely, right? But they exist in other countries. Is there a culture in other countries where they celebrate death, violence, guns, homicides, etc.? Yeah, but only a couple. Like Afghanistan, the Taliban loved the weapons. They would.
Gun owners are
He's
terrorists.
equating this.
Yeah,
No. Not even the fact that he's equating this to a terrorist, because that you could see coming. But just the fact that he's equating a family photo where everybody has a gun to celebrating violence, murder. All the. It's like I said, he's completely off the reservation, dude. He's in a
lives
whole
there,
different
dude.
fucking planet.
He lives there every day.
Bro.
This guy.
It's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel for the people that live in LA because of people like him. It's insane. Oh,
Move
man, I
to
don't know how much more
Florida.
of this I could take. Let's go.
Nah, good. It's only like 6 minutes.
Would have a
left.
picture almost exactly like that, right? Except they wouldn't give it to the women. So, to be fair, right? In this case, the women have murderous weapons too. Who do we murder? Yeah, right? You might find a couple like that in other war-torn countries and other fundamentalist countries, but there is no answer to this. There is some massive percentage of our country that thinks weapons of that
Of mass
Real quick, I
destruction
just want
because he was
to
about to fucking
shout out
say
to
that.
low-key misogyny.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What's that?
No, he was about to say weapons
the
of mass
low-key
destruction.
misogyny of at least in the other countries, they didn't give it to the women. Here they even give it to the women.
Yeah. They're a little.
At least the
bit
Taliban, they at least don't give it to the women, because God knows what's gonna happen if you give women guns.
Wasn't there a video of like they
If you have a car, you're more likely to get into a car accident. No shit, genius.
I need to have like another window that can put you in full screen because you're putting it over your shoulder and I can see it in the Skype window, but on the stream it's like off the border. You gotta like put it in front of your face.
Yeah, sure. We'll just hold it on this side then.
Yeah, there you go. It works better that way. No, man, like if people are fucking
This better.
yeah, there you go.
Let's see if we can trigger Chink.
He's gonna. You're a suicidal maniac. Look at the
that's
deranged look in his
ridiculous.
eye. Look at that big beard. He's obviously a terrorist. He's coming after you. Coming for your kids. Look out.
than if they had no weapons in the house.
Bro,
So over the weekend, I interviewed an associate professor over at Harvard for Jacobin, and he's
They
done
know all
a
about
lot of
guns.
extensive research on the incarceration rate in the United States, and how we incarcerate more people than
She goes
any
on
other
this
developed
tangent
country.
for a second, but she
And
brings it back.
I promise this all connects. So the United States, compared to other developed countries, stands out in terms of its violence, in terms of violent crime. And part of the reason why is because the United States does not have a robust welfare state, right? And so that leads to people feeling this sense of insecurity, this lack of safety. They think they need the guns to protect themselves, which I get, like that's a rational thought. And so people start arming themselves, thinking that they are Rambo, thinking that they can protect themselves in any and all situations where someone poses a threat. But that gun culture has just kind of snowballed into what we see in that image, right? Part of it is political and cultural pandering, but part of it is also just this thought that guns are fun toys, when in reality, like if the right wing believes in the right to bear arms, they should take it seriously.
Holy fucking shit. Tell me you don't know like you don't understand gun culture without telling me you don't understand gun culture. Like she referred to guns as toys and she was saying, what did she say? Like, what was the last bit there? I don't even remember because I was so triggered by so many things in a row. Like
she said if you're gonna be all about gun culture, take it seriously.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay,
after
that
she
was the
called it
other
a fucking
yes.
toy.
Yeah, she calls it a toy and then she's like, you got to take it seriously. Again, I pointed out in this photo that's on the screen right now, there's no magazines in any gun. All the fingers are off the triggers. They're all pointed away from people. They're going to bring up the daughter in the middle in a second. But like, it's so stupid. Like you don't understand anything about what you're looking at right there. You just see white people with guns and you're like, well, white people bad, guns bad.
No,
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, they see guns. They assume that mass murder.
Annie's a Republican.
They said it. They saw a gun.
There you go.
And right, they see a Republican with a gun.
Yeah.
They equate that to mass murder, terrorism, celebrating death. All those dumbass things that they said. It's projection. They're the ones that view this like this. My last girlfriend, she was a liberal, and she always used to say, "Oh, I can't have a gun because if somebody cut me off, I'd shoot him." And you're like, seriously, that's what triggers you enough for you to want to shoot somebody is somebody cutting you off. That's what does it for you.
You probably should.
Like I pray that I never have to use my guns.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like not once. it's always the fucking, the liberals. Oh, if this person did that, if they looked at me wrong, if I had a gun and somebody looked at me wrong, and if they cut me off, or if they did blah blah blah, I'd shoot somebody. I can't have it. It's like, okay, so what you're telling me is you're the deranged one.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
You're
have
the
a gun.
fucking lunatic.
You shouldn't have one. The other day, going and buying chicken coop supplies, I swear, like 5 different people cut me off, like all throughout the day, just like randomly. And I was like, see, this is why I gotta fucking start carrying my gun. she's like, no, this is why you don't need to carry your gun. So that exact scenario, like that happened a couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago. I was just like, like these fucking people, man, they're so fucking lucky. There's no respect out here on the road. No. I wouldn't.
Yes, because you never know when one of those idiots that cuts you off,
right,
is the one that's going to get mad at you because they cut you off, and now they think you're tailgating them because they cut you off.
Right.
You never know. You never know who's going to be the idiot that fucking tries you.
Yeah, no. Like, I obviously wouldn't just shoot somebody for cutting me off. That's stupid. But in that moment, I was pissed. I was like, hey, you, like this is why you're lucky I don't have my gun. All right. Yeah, there's a little bit more here. There's at least one more thing that I'm waiting on, and then
they should treat it as a weapon that could do mass harm to people around them. And
she's saying they should take it seriously and treat it like a weapon that could do mass harm, like they are, without having any ammo and fingers on the trigger.
Right.
She said 32
for a while.
30 fucking 2.
Yeah, that's.
If there was a school shooting, they would be the ones to talk about it, and they're not.
Right.
So what?
Why haven't they talked about the 32 shootings?
Yeah, school shootings.
Oh, you know why?
She said 32 school shootings.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. But you know what it is? They were probably in the fucking hood. Somebody brought a gun to school and drive by or shot somebody at a school or something. But it was probably just a local beef at a local school.
Nobody.
32
in 3 months.
It's crazy.
Not mass shootings, school shootings.
See, they clarified.
It's mass shootings are a much larger number.
Yeah.
Because the right wing thinks it's awesome and really cool. We have come to accept it in America. We're like, oh, at any.
You might know this statistic better than I do, but how many concealed carry owners or registered gun owners commit mass murders? Like,
dude, I know it's ridiculously low. I don't know the statistic.
I don't know either. I don't know either. But it's like, let's be safe and let's say less than 5%. It's probably less.
Dude, it's less than 1%.
Yeah, see, it's way lower than that. But it's just fucking ridiculous.
Any moment, any of us can get massacred by the right-wing lunatics who walk around around us and that have weapons all over them. And the minute any of them gets a little agitated, they're like, "Oh, government tyranny, murder everyone," okay, or whatever. I got thoughts running in my head, or I don't like you, or you're Antifa, or you threw a plastic bag at me.
I don't know if he's thinking about Ron DeSantis or whatever, because Ron DeSantis had that anti-mob bill or whatever, and that couple that stood outside of their house that were like holding the guns because BLM was coming near their house. Okay, so that's it's something along those lines for that one. Then the other one was threw a plastic bag at me. That was a direct reference to Kyle Rittenhouse, because that's the story that they've been going with. Is that somebody threw a plastic bag at him and then he shot them. These are very distinct. And then now the one that he just brought up was the Trayvon Martin one, the bag of Skittles. That was Trayvon Martin.
Right, I caught that. Yeah. But as we all, I mean, it had nothing to do with Skittles, obviously.
No.
I don't know if you saw the video that he's referring to. Somebody threw a plastic bag at Rittenhouse. I don't know what was thrown, but a plastic bag does not like.
Have you thrown a plastic bag?
Velocity.
If you don't ball it up,
I
say, have you thrown a plastic bag? Like, I don't have to see. I know a plastic bag doesn't go far without something in it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like if you have maybe some sort of weight in it, and you kind of like, you could probably do some damage. It's not the plastic bag doing damage. A plastic bag does not move the way that whatever he threw moved. If that was a plastic bag, there was something in it, and that's what he needed to worry about. Not a fucking plastic bag, you fucking retard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God.
It's almost over. It's almost over.
Okay, whatever. Murder. Right. And they celebrated. John Bocino asked a good question. It was the same one I had. I had to look at this picture a couple of times. He's one of our members, tyt.com/join. To become a member, be part of the show. He said, is that a little girl pointing her gun at her mom's head? And I looked carefully. It appears she's not pointing it at the mom's head. These gigantic guns, and I guess the dad has the shortest penis because he has to overcome. So, oh, look at this guy! I can murder dozens, maybe hundreds of people with this thing. Oh, I would be such a good murderer. Okay, right wing, enjoy, but it's super scary. We live in a crazy country.
And remember, the parents of the Oxford High School shooter are now photo.
He's a United States congressman.
And he's not the first one who's done this. They do this all the time. This is a common occurrence in Republican politics.
And again, one last point. If you live in Japan or England or any other civilized country, you think, yeah, I'm not gonna get elected again after having a little kid in the picture with a high-powered weapon, he looking like a lunatic, having his whole family look like a bunch of murderers ready to shoot themselves, each other, people that come in, innocent people. Obviously not gonna get elected again. Oh, no, he'll win easily.
He's gonna win easily. He's a murderer. People love that shit. Not that hard.
So I'm actually looking at the photo right now.
Now,
and not a single magazine in sight.
He has some wiggle room, right? Because there could he has some wiggle room, right? Because there could be one in the chamber. There could be one. The weapon isn't like fully cocked back. You can't see in the chamber. There may be one.
So at least two of them, it's cocked back. Like it has an open chamber.
See, this is why I knew you'd be great because you're looking even closer than I did.
Yeah, the chick in the back in the green, and then the son that's directly above Massie with the blue striped shirt, the blue with the white stripes. The chamber's open. The chamber's wide open, and you can see directly into it.
Which would be an indication that they checked the rest of them, right?
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. Chances are, again, he's right. He's right. You don't know with 1,000% certainty, but they obviously know what they're doing. And I know me, myself, in that situation, guess what? They're going to be cocked back. There's not going to be any bullets in any chambers. Obviously they didn't point the guns at each other. Oh, they're ready to murder each other and themselves and blah. Shut the fuck up.
They're gonna kill a bunch of violence, and the right wingers are just bloodthirsty maniacs with small penises.
God, dude, it's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid.
Well, I figured that we would end on something related to that statement you just made, that this was stupid. And something else that was stupid. Right. I want to burn through some of this other stuff. If you got to go sooner, just let me know. But so something stupid is the reaction.
Let's start heading to wrap up. But yeah, let's try and burn through this real quick.
Okay, so all I was gonna say is I have a couple points to make. Omicron, everybody's stupid stuff, stupid reactions, all the reaction to Omicron. It's been great that Ron DeSantis had. I want to get to the libertarian stuff because we can talk about Ron DeSantis anytime. Yesterday was the Libertarian Party's 50th birthday. Were celebrating like, oh, this is David Nolan's creation. I don't know if you've been following the posts on Twitter, but everybody's like, oh, this is great. Look at all the progress that we've made and everything's going so well. I had a different reaction. When I saw that it was the 50th birthday of the Libertarian Party, and my first question is...
Absolutely.
Yeah, I won't say everything, obviously. But yeah.
From a political standpoint, it's gotten way worse. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, and I just don't understand. And so a couple things I wanted to talk to you about on this. I'm just over. I think I'm right at a year. Like it's right around this time.
Okay.
Last year that I started like seriously considering getting involved with stuff, and then like next week is going to be like the anniversary of a meeting that I went to for the Libertarian Party, and so like I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking like what difference have we made so far? But hold on, this cat is yelling. Shut up! Go away. And the Libertarian Party is the third largest party in the country, and all this stuff. And somebody replied to him with a screenshot of Ballotpedia that showed 0 out of 355 members, and like that kind of says it all right there. Like, how long were the Republicans on the scene?
Congress?
Yeah. Like. It was down the list. It was like how many senators, how many House people, how many state senators, how many governors, how many, like just straight down the list, and it was all zeros. And so, Nick Sarwark, I remember seeing him do debates with Dave and other people, and he's talking about how the point of a political party is to win elections, and so if you take that for what it's worth, that a political party is supposed to win elections. If you look back at the last 50 years, I am not impressed.
Right. I mean, me neither. The only thing that's impressive is that there's people this idea with as much losing as we've done.
Yeah.
And I say it in general as a political party. Yeah, the resilience is impressive. But that's it. That's the only saving grace is, that there are people still around. And partially it's because they've treated this fucking party like a social club, for I don't know how many fucking years. Local ones until Libertarian becomes more mainstream, which I think right now we are doing a better job of that, obviously, with, Twitter, podcasts, things like that. The biggest forms of media right now are not the corporate media, and that's playing to our advantage. You've got people like, Ben Shapiro, who is not a libertarian in any way, shape, or form.
He calls himself a libertarian from time to time. Yeah.
Exactly. So suddenly he's starting to claim that he's a libertarian. I think Russell Brand also, he claimed libertarianism, even though he's a fucking leftist, and right. They're both statist, which that disqualifies you from claiming libertarianism to a certain point.
Yeah.
You could have a certain amount of patriotism, so to speak, but if you trust our government, like if you're that blue pilled, I'm sorry, you're not a libertarian.
Yeah.
It comes inherent in being a libertarian that you're not going to trust our government and the way things have turned out, and our government to continue on the road that it's going. You think it's just going to get fixed because because it's our fault, because we don't talk about it as much. We spend so much time talking about takeover and how shitty the Libertarian Party is. We don't focus enough on the issue coalitions and the elected representatives at the local level. But I don't know. Yeah.
Like, I also look at it and I question sometimes how effective we actually are and what is actually being accomplished. And you see bodies, like they're so worried about filing reports and doing all this paperwork and, looking at rules and all this kind of stuff. There's no motivation to do anything other than organize, but there's no, like, you're not organizing towards any particular objective. You're just like, I can put a group of people together, right, and then what? Like, then there's nothing. And then that's why it falls apart, because people get so heavily invested for so long, and then you just get burnt out. And I think about that, especially, coming up on the 1-year anniversary of me going to a Libertarian Party meeting with the banner of Mises Caucus. And I just think about, like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we're sitting around arguing about bylaws. Like, no one fucking cares. Outside of the party, nobody fucking cares.
Dude, so we had a fundraising event yesterday, holiday party, holiday fundraiser.
Where you were the featured speaker. Don't play it down. Yeah.
So I actually wanted to mention
Yeah.
that's something when I was talking about it, that's something that attracted me to the Mises Caucus. And I was talking about it because Mike Mahari from the 10th Amendment Center was there.
Nice.
And I love the sentiment of the 10th Amendment Center where they say these laws don't serve us. These laws hurt us. You know, take it, shove it up your ass. I'm all for that. You know, I don't care about being right by the book. You know, short of, you know, I obviously I don't want to do anything that's going to cost the party, you know, a $50,000 fine or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
But that being said, you know, if there's some stupid rule or this or that that's in the way of us, you know, moving forward, you know, I really don't give a shit about that rule. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be bothered if it's something that's minor and inconsequential. Fuck it. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep working. Like, why are we letting that be the hang up? I'm not interested in being right. I'm interested in being effective. And that kind of leads to a conversation that I was having with somebody the other day also, where, you know, we talked about how, you know, these people, you know, oh, you know, I care about the party more than this person or that or whatever, you know, and then you got the Dave Smith types who have said, you know, I don't care about the party itself. What I care about is liberty.
Yeah.
Those are the people I could fuck with. You know what I mean? Yeah. Those are the people I could relate with. Those are the people that motivated me to join this party, because I started finding more and more of those people within the party. And I say, you know what? This is worth fighting for. I'll fight with those people.
Yeah, I mean,
those people want liberty. They want the end goal.
Yeah.
How we get there, you know what? I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I really don't. At this point, we're way beyond conversations about the NAP or this or, you know, who's more libertarian or whatever. Let's try and get us to a little bit more liberty, and then we can discuss, hey, you know what? That you did was wrong, or that you did was wrong, and, you know, there's better ways to go about this, and next time let's do it this way, not that way.
Yeah.
But let's take a fucking step towards liberty first, because we've been losing ground. It's disgusting. It's disgusting how much we've been losing ground over the last, I mean, just over my lifetime, but especially over the last year and a half to 2 years, you know, and before that, the last 4 years before that, and the previous 4 years before that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm constantly being hit with like black and white pills over and over again, because like with COVID, like what really fucked me up then was, you know, I remember I was protesting back in like 2012. Like I remember going to protests, and one of the things that activists used to talk about back, the possibility of martial law. And the idea was, you know, if anybody ever came around and said, you have to stay in your home, you can't go anywhere, if you come out on the street, you will be arrested, and all this kind of stuff. Everybody, well, I'm obviously not going to listen to that. I'm going to go in the street. Whose streets? Our streets. Like, that's where it came from. It was like the curfews and all this kind of crap. And then all of a sudden, you know, COVID comes around, and these same fucking people are like, no, you got to stay inside. You got to wear a mask. You got to get a vaccine. You got to do all this crap. You got to do what they say, because, you know, they're the boss and they're right. And, you know, you got to listen to them because they, you know, science and whatever. And it was so discouraging to see all of that.
Follow the science.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know,
dude, sorry.
No, there's a lag. Go ahead.
I don't want to, I don't mean to brag about it, but from the beginning I was like, yeah, they're gonna try and lock us down, and I'm not having that shit. Yeah. Oh, you want me to wear a mask? You know what? I worked at a dealership at the time. You know, there was, I don't know, probably somewhere near 50 to 60 other people in that store with me, you know, at that time. It's in Broward County. We had the health inspector coming by once or twice a month doing inspections, checking people's masks. You know, I knew I knew what the local health inspector looked like, you know, by March of last year. And she would walk into the store, and, you know, we'd see her, we'd be like, oh shit, you know, time to mask up. But she'd walk through the store, hey, you're not wearing a mask. What? You know, I didn't want to be the reason why, you know, I caused somebody else to lose their livelihood if they shut down that shop.